Waving his hand.
I'm waving. Photo bombing myself.
Alright, we're ready.
Alright, thanks for coming. Good to see you all. My name's Paul. I think because if you don't know me, this is my primary space, the art gallery. And it's been a construction zone for 2 years, so there haven't been any shows. And even though you might think so, I haven't been on vacation for 2 years either. There's been a lot happening. The next exhibit in this space is called Building a University. It focuses on artists from South Carolina, of course. And all the artists that show their work deals with space, or the concept of space, or the idea of space, in one way or another, either very directly or very abstractly. So one artist, for example, who's the only artist who's no longer living, is Robert Fortright. In the 1990s, he did a whole series of lunar collages based on 19th century lunar maps and atlases. So he revisited that series for us and made 2D works. He finished them right before he passed away, so we're really fortunate to have those in the museum's collection and part of the show. That's a good example of somebody who's very direct in their approach. They're abstract, but you can tell they're basically associated with the moon. Another artist is Jonathan Brilliant, whose work is much more conceptual. Think about the universe. It's composed of millions of parts. So Jonathan's going to create an installation on the far end of the gallery that's made up completely of coffee stirrers. And we have thousands and thousands and thousands of coffee stirrers here that were shipped to us a couple of weeks ago. And he's going to weave them together, kind of like a giant abstract basket that will be on the far end. So just like the universe is made up of millions of parts, so will his installation in a very sort of conceptual way. Mary Edna Fraser is a batik artist. Her work will be in this general area. And she does batiks somewhat abstract. Sometimes they're fairly realistic, but there's a wide variety. She's actually worked directly with NASA. She was an artist in residence with NASA, and she's from the Charleston area. So those are 3 examples out of 15 artists that will be in this show. If you were just in the planetarium area, if you saw the little pie-shaped alcove underneath the planetarium, that's where the NASA gallery is going to be. So in the past, on the 3rd floor is where all the NASA things were, like General Duke's spacesuit, his helmet that went to the moon rock, and all those things, the Apollo missions. So that's no longer necessary on the 3rd floor. It makes a lot more sense to have it down here in the planetarium space where you're seeing space shows. You walk out and you see the NASA gallery. If you went outside of the planetarium, there's going to be a plaza. It's about as long as the gallery is wide right here, and probably about this deep. So it's kind of a small gathering place for people to go outside and stand around. One of the artists from Building University is actually going to be out there. Virginia Scotchy is going to have one of her sphere installations in the landscape of the front yard of the museum. And if you look over to the side, on the east side of the plaza, there's a brand new topiary by Pearl Fryer from Bishopville, South Carolina. And his topiary was installed a few months ago. And we had to remove one that he donated for the museum's 8th birthday to accommodate the expansion project. So he was very generous and gracious. He said, don't waste your money trying to save that topiary because it probably won't make it. He said he was really surprised that it made it all the way here to begin with, but we planted it when it was hot apparently a long time ago. So he said, I have one that's even better and I want you to have this one. So that's the new topiary that's out there. Do you have any questions about any of the new spaces over here downstairs? The exhibit?
This NASA exhibit over here, will that person still visit that
You can visit that without going into the planetarium. It's visible. If you walk back out, if you go through the doors.